Well, the whole point of this, as I said, is getting us together to be inspired and then to turn inspiration into new types of ideas. So I'm going to do a thank you at the end, but I mean, some of those ideas are great. And it is turning those words into actions. And I think one of the things you just said there is the role of the IPA. And I think that is something that the IPA does to a certain level. But one of the things I was talking to Janet about this is whether we, a bit like CPD you have to now do as an agency to continue your membership. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've got to do it. Yeah. So I wonder whether you take some of the same things, right, and you get all of us. There's 300 agencies in the IPA, and you get us all as being part of membership, being, one specific element of being a member. You a bit like CPD. I don't know. You have to take on an apprentice, an intern, something on BMEs, but just make it a commitment. Now, but just some level of commitment that's practical. But I'll tell you why I think that's interesting. One, it will make things happen. Two, it will save a lot of IPA. Obviously I don't work at the IPA. I'm a volunteer. So I work at an agency, but it would make the bloody good staff at the IPA, rather than chase us all round and trying to get us to sign up and whatever, actually they could reserve their energies and their time and their commitment and their monies into doing things a bit like Teach First. Yeah? So they would actually go out and us act as an industry to go out and represent, wasn't it interesting, Teach First, second highest employer of graduates because they came together. That was one of the reasons we put Teach First in there. So I think there's learnings from that too, and it's something we're at December Council, I don't know, whether we're some interesting things we're doing on qualifications, whether that's something we put forward. Anyway, that was one thing that was coming out quite strongly for me, to turn words into actions. And I do agree, so there's roles for the IPA, and there's roles for each and every one of us individually, is take on board the learnings that we've got today. Now what we're going to do over the next 100 days is collate together what was had today, but over the next 100 days, please go out there and individually blog, individually put some things into place in your agency. Tell us about them. Now I know that, there's certain things we'd always keep to ourselves because we're competitive, but there's certain principles you can share, things that do work, things that don't work. Share it, and then we can collate them together. And the whole point of a movement is you share content and get it out there. And one of the thoughts we are doing is off the back of the P one you've got there, the booklet. Yeah, the booklet can only do so much. Yeah, so at the end of 100 days, you put it together, and we'll have a hub, and we'll have lots of other things. But we're filming all this, yeah? And what we're thinking of doing is turning maybe each of these adaptathons, because it's so rich what actually comes out of it, because hopefully you're all going to feel inspired, because I am. I was writing notes galore. Is if we shared that rather than 150 people, if it was 15,000 people, and we actually did, maybe it's the good old box set. I think we'll have the book and the film. And the idea of 5 30-second programs on what's learnt from each adaptathon that's then shared and it gets out there. That's where I think we can start to push a movement. So as an IPA role to spread that, but there's also the content's going to come from you lot. And that's what was so great about today, was actually people outside the industry and inside the industry throwing around ideas and inspiring us. And that's really, I suppose, my ramble, what I was hoping to get from today. And I suppose the last point I'll make is, and I've always put commercial creativity, and I bang on about it, and I'm boring as batshit on it, but that's why we do what we do, right? Adapt for better commercial creativity, because that's what our business is for our clients, but also for ourselves to drive. I've found it amazing in the time I've been in the industry, average margin's gone from 20 to 11%. Irritates the hell out of me. And it's down to us to make more business sense out of all these ADAPTs, but T especially today. How do we turn talent, make business sense out of talent? And one of the great ones was retention. It really got into how you can save money if you do it better, but also how when you get diverse, when you get diversity, you are going to be better. So, and the core reason for it is commercial creativity, or if it was one word, is effectiveness. And that's why I joined the IPA as VCCP, and that's what I get a big kick out of as being the president. It's our role to drive us as effective agencies for our clients and for our people and for ourselves. So that would be my 5-minute ramble.
You're almost the ex-president, though, to finish.
Yes, I am. I am not. It's quite sad. It's my last Adaptathon. Can you believe we came up with that phrase, Adaptathon? It was Janet's idea. It's a great idea. But isn't it lovely? I think whenever I say I'm going to my kids, I'm going off to an Adaptathon this morning. They all look at me slightly strangely, I have to say. But no, I mean, I'm around till March, April time, and a new person takes over. But like I think all good presidential agendas, I mean, I mentioned Stephen Woodford. I'm literally 10 years on since he drove qualifications, and we're having a drink in a minute to celebrate that. I see this is, as I said earlier, it's a journey, it's a movement. Movement means little steps that hopefully turn into strides, that hopefully turn into leaps. So when I finish, this all sounds very presidential, that's the beginning. It's not the end.
The dream lives on.
The dream lives on. Long live the dream.
That's when you lose, actually. So
long live.
Sorry, no.
Long live the president. Yeah. But so yeah, that's how I'd answer that one anyway.
Okay. Anything you want to say in conclusion, then, Ian, before we draw things to?
I think I've rambled on enough. Yeah. Apart from a thank you, can I say a thank you now? Yeah, why not? So I'm going to thank you to all you guys because, as I said, this was not a lean back conference. These Adaptathons, Janet, are lean forward, roll sleeves up. And, so I really appreciate, because we're only as good as us. So, and so I really appreciate everyone's efforts for, coming along and actually contributing, because that's what it's all about. I'm going to do the very presidential thank you to the sponsor, Daniel Marks, because they've really helped us get to where we are today. And they are in that key area of talent, so I thank you for that. Marketing as a partner, they help spread the news, and that's why we went in with them deliberately. We went with marketing as a group because we wanted to get to clients and advertising people. I'd like to thank all the speakers, not only in this main session but in each individual group, and especially the facilitators who organised it and stood up and gave the debrief then, which is really important. I know this goes on forever, but IPA groups. The 3 IPA groups who've been heavily involved in getting this together are the Professional Development, Diversity Forum and Digital Business Group. A lot of work goes on behind the scenes to get us here. And the IPA team, I could mention a load of them, but I'm not. They know they are. They do an amazing job. They are, as I keep saying, the best ad for our industry. And last but not least, a certain person on my right who is nearly as good as Evan. But no, absolutely brilliant. And I thought it was very relevant that both him and I, when we were talking diversity, it was a very relevant point as to, I'm not going to say it again. Anyway,
look at us.
We couldn't be less diverse.
What more could you want?
So I do appreciate all of those people. A huge round of applause. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.